I think the focus on food and climate is a critical one, and one that I still think is underexploited by the climate folks and the food folks. So the question then is, what's the Shamba Centre's unique selling point or proposition to bring to this space? And looking at the website, I see the words disrupt food systems and remove barriers to change. And I would agree with those sentiments up to a point. And so the remove barriers reminded me of a book I used to read my kids. It's called We're Going on a Bear Hunt, when they were obviously 2, 3, and 4. And in that book, it's about, I think, a father who's going with his kids on a bear hunt, and they come up against lots of obstacles. And there's this chant that they chant every time they come up against an obstacle, which is, oh no, we can't go over it, we can't go under it, we'll have to go through it. And it's a way of building up a sense of resilience and a sense of confidence that barriers don't have to be insurmountable. They can be things that you get rid of and go through. So I'm very I think it's very good to talk about removing barriers to change. But sometimes we have to be even more pragmatic than that and find a way around a barrier or over a barrier or under it. So I hope that the Shamba Centre, and I'm sure it will have a brilliant mix of principle and pragmatism. The second word that caught my attention was disrupt. And again, there are disruptors that are negative. It's much easier to tear down a barn than it is to build a barn. And then there are disruptors that are positive, disrupting in the sense of we don't have to do it like this, we can do it like this instead. And I think that's what's so brilliant about the antecedents to the Shamba Centre's work. And I'm thinking of things like the Ceres 2030 report, because the Ceres 2030 work showed we can end hunger to all intents and purposes by 2030 if we invest in these 10 areas. We know how much it's going to cost. We know what the impact will be. Even more importantly, when we end hunger, we're going to do it in a way that generates huge increases in promotion of livelihoods for the poorest and the most vulnerable people in the food system. And we're going to do it in ways that are compliant with Paris agreements in terms of mitigation and adaptation. And I think it's this sort of cross-sectional, integrative approach that is going to be the Shamba Centre's strengths. And so in 5 years, I would like to see this work done with Ceres at the global level. I'd like to see that reproduced at the country level for as many countries as possible. GAIN is working with 10 countries to support them developing and implementing their food system transformation pathways coming out of the UN Food System Summit. And it would just be wonderful to have this kind of analysis from the Shamba Centre that says, for Ethiopia, these are the investment areas that will really make a difference, not only on hunger, but on livelihoods and on climate as well. So I wish the centre all the best in its launching. I'm sure it's destined for great things. I know it will add to the firmament of organizations working on these interface issues. And as one of those organizations, I'm very happy that GAIN will be a partner of the Shamba Centre for many years to come. Thank you for the opportunity.